NIL is one of the main talking points for roster building for anybody in your position. You have maintained that you're coming from a position of strength here at Xavier and in the Big East. What do you mean by that?
Well, we don't have to share with football. Assuming the House settlement passes April 7th, they're going to have to cap off at $20.5 million. Well, every athletic department is going to have to make decisions on how to invest their money. Certainly football is a huge driver of all of these things, whether it's realignment and so on. So, and there's more players and so on. I truly believe the Big East is going to be the best basketball conference in all of college basketball after April 7th, because we're going to have so many resources to build an amazing roster to go along with so many good universities, so many good colleges, so many amazing fan bases. I just feel like we're going to be in an amazing position.
The other word you used I found interesting was retain. It's really hard to retain talent in the NIL era. Why do you think you can do that?
Well, I had one of the best point guards in the country who moved along to UCLA, but I don't know if he becomes the player that he was without sticking with us for 3 years. It is hard, don't get me wrong, because it's a one-year free agency type situation. But I do believe if you pour your heart and soul into them every single day, money is important, but maybe it's not everything. And as we continue to build what we're trying to do from the rev share standpoint to go along with an amazing experience, I truly believe they're going to value the whole, just top to bottom what Xavier has to offer.
You said it's addicting to climb a ladder and cut down nets. You've gotten to do that in recent years. Why do you think you can do that here in the Big East and at Xavier?
Well, it is addicting, and I've been lucky to do that the last 2 years. We've got everything. We really do. We've got an amazing, amazing opportunity. We've got one of the best home courts in all of college basketball. We've got people that really care. Greg Christopher is an amazing athletic director. Now, it's not going to be easy. We know that. But once we get this thing up and running, I feel really good that we're going to have an opportunity to do that.
I thought there's a great question asked to you in your introductory press conference. It was, everybody always asks somebody, why would you want the job? It was asked to you, why do you think Greg Christopher wanted you? And you mentioned your path and the adversity you've overcome as you've grown. What do you think is your biggest growing point from when you were at Minnesota to where you are now sitting at Cintas Center?
I think more than anything, it's just my mentality of the whole experience. I'd be silly not to think maybe at 30 years old going to the Big Ten I was trying to prove myself. Now I am super motivated. I want to win. I don't feel like I'm trying to prove myself. I feel like I really want to win championships for Xavier, but I know that I'm not going to be able to do it alone. And so I'm comfortable in my skin that I've got to hire the best staff to help us. I've got to make sure I empower, whether it's boosters, alumni, former players, everybody to get us on this bus together. I've gotten a taste of success. I love it. I want more of it. I'm going to pour my heart and soul into it. I'm not going to cheat this job. They're going to, Greg said it, and I think it was great. They're going to get the best version of me. This is year 14, but I've never been more excited about being able to do this at such an amazing place like Xavier.
You told my coworker, Jeremy, the one thing about your dad you've learned is competitiveness. That if you're playing golf, even if you're not a great golfer, it's going to feel like Sunday at the Masters. You now get to face your dad twice, at a minimum, in the Big East. How competitive do you think those games will be when it's Pitino against Pitino here in Cintas Center?
Well, they're all going to be competitive. We know that. But certainly I understand how cool of a storyline that's going to be. I mean, this year was special. It's the first time a father-son, I believe, ever made the tournament together, in the same year. The first time father-son were Big East, Mountain West Coach of the Years in their respective conferences. So it's not going to be easy on either one of us. We absolutely root for each other's program, but for those two games, we're going to go after each other, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So he's taught me so much as a person, as a son, as a father. But I know as a coach, going against him, if you don't block out, they're going to rebound. If you don't set a good screen, they're going to blow that screen up. So he's made me, just watching them play, I know what I'm getting myself into with what he's doing at St. John's, and that's only going to make us better.